Hey everyone, sorry it's been such a long time since I've made a video. I just haven't really had much to talk about lately, or much of anything I really wanted to talk about. Actually, I do have audio ready to go for another video. It's another comic conference for Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 3. I didn't want my immediate next video to be another comic conference. I don't know, I kind of like to space those out. Um, I just don't want to give off the impression that those are the only videos that I'm going to be making or anything like that. So I was kind of waiting until I had another video to put out, and I just watched the My Hero Academia movie, so I figured I'd go ahead and talk about that. This is probably going to be a bit more of a rambly video than my other ones usually are. I'm just kind of talking immediately after having watched it, so let's see how this goes. So, My Hero Academia. I don't talk about anime very much. I've mentioned it a few times in my videos. I did one video on My Hero Academia a while back on Deku and different heroes that I think that he has elements of. I'm actually pretty new to anime. I've been a fan of Dragon Ball for many years, but recently I started watching different series, and My Hero Academia is one of the big ones. It's right up my alley. I'm a big fan of superheroes and comic books. And a friend of mine had been watching it, and he brought it up to me, so I was like, I just gotta check that out. Now, the funny thing is, this movie came out, I don't remember if it came out at the same time in America, or around the same time in America as in Japan, or if it was after, but what I do know is, it came out here right around the time I'd finished watching the whole series. It was either as I was getting to the end of season 3 or a few weeks afterward, and I felt really cheated because it was not in a theater near me. So I completely missed out on this when it was in the theater. And now that I've actually seen it, I feel even more cheated because I would have loved to have seen this in the theater. It's a really enjoyable movie, especially if you're a fan of the series. Which actually, you could probably watch this movie if you haven't seen the series or read the manga, because there is a recap where it explains, how the world works, and it tells you Midoriya's origin. There are some references to the series that you're not going to get if you haven't seen or read it, but you're not going to be lost by the main story. You get the basic idea of what this world is, who these characters are, what their personalities are, how their powers work, all that. Now, the funny thing is, this is set between seasons 2 and 3, but the events of this movie are at no point. None of the characters introduced in this movie, none of it is mentioned anywhere in season 3. There was one filler episode that set the movie up. It came out in season 3, and it was set during season 2, so it was like, All Might's like, hey, Midoriya, want to come with me to this island? And Midoriya's like, yeah, sure, and then that's where it ends, and then the next episode goes right back to the main story. That's it. Now, I know how anime movies are. Mainly, I'm going off of the Dragon Ball Z movies. Again, remember, I'm new to anime. I don't really know how newer series do it, but I know Dragon Ball Z, none of the old movies were officially part of the continuity. So you'd have movies that could fit, like the first 2 Broly movies, I think, could fit into the timeline. But Broly was never mentioned, because those movies canonically never happen. This movie, though, ties into the series really well. Except for, in hindsight, with Season 3. But, if you're just watching from Season 1 through Season 2, I think that this can fit really well into there. But I don't know if the creator of the series has said it's official or not. But if it is, it'd be nice to see a follow-up on the events of this movie or the characters that were introduced. And I just realized that I've been talking for a while about this, and some of my subscribers probably have never watched or read this series. So for anyone who hasn't, basically My Hero Academia, it's basically X-Men, but the mutants are the majority of the population, is the best way I would put it. It's a world where the majority of the population has some kind of ability that they call quirks. They have a whole society built around it. And the main characters of the series are in school, learning to control their power so that they can become licensed heroes. The main guy of the series, Midoriya, was born without a quirk, but he proved that he's worthy of having one. He really wants to be a hero. He has a very strong heroic spirit, so All Might, who is basically Superman, passes his power to Midoriya because he suffered an injury years before and he can't keep up being a hero. Pretty soon he's going to have to retire, so he wants somebody to be a successor, and he chose Midoriya to be his successor. And Midoriya uses the hero name Deku, so you might hear me call him that in the video. Anyway, that's the basic summary of the series. I should have put that at the beginning, but like I said, I'm not working off of a script. So if there's any confusion about what the series is about, there you go. So anyway, the characters introduced in this, the villain was, he has control over magnetism. He'd probably be interesting to be expanded on in the show. He didn't really have much of a character, he was the villain. He was a very intimidating villain. And the big final battle with him was great, especially when All Might and Midoriya double team him. That was fantastic, especially when You Say Run started playing, which is one of the most famous songs from the series. Even if you've never seen it, you've probably seen the memes of You Say Run goes with everything. The second I heard that song start playing and the two of them were getting ready to go fight him, it put a huge smile on my face. All Might's old friend Dave is another character introduced in this movie. He has a pretty interesting story. I don't want to spoil what happens. I know the movie's been out for a while, but again, like I was doing this video thinking of people who probably haven't seen the series at all. But yeah, I liked his whole story that was going there. Again, it's kind of weird that he's never mentioned in the series except for the one episode that set the movie up. But anyway, there's a scene at the beginning of the movie that's a flashback whenever All Might was partnering with him. And it's set in America, and I watched the Japanese version of this. And I'm not going to do the sub versus dub thing. I do not care. I just like the Japanese version because that's what I've always watched. But anyway, that was really funny. The scenes, because that flashback takes place in America, but everybody's speaking Japanese, so it was kind of funny. But anyway, I like Dave's daughter, Melissa, also. I felt like from things I'd seen, I was kind of worried that there was going to be some love triangle stuff between Midoriya with her and Ochako. I was glad there wasn't, because that could have turned out really obnoxious if they had done that. There was one scene where Ochako seems kind of like it bothers her, like when she first shows up in the movie and Midoriya is hanging out with Melissa. Like, she seems like a little bit bothered by it, but it's like a very tiny thing. I didn't get any romantic vibes off of Midoriya and Melissa anyway at all, so that whole thing turned out better than I was worried that it would. And in case anybody's wondering, I don't care about shipping. I really, really just do not care. I like Midoriya with Ochako because I think it makes sense and it's been built up in the series, but I'm not a rabid fan of them as a couple. There are a couple fan pairings too that I do think are kind of nice, but I just cannot bring myself to care about all that stuff very much. So I'm not like, if people ship Deku with Melissa, I that's fine. I don't care. Anyway, yeah, the movie was pretty good all in all. Definitely check it out. Interestingly, it's a little rant I kind of want to go on. The movie, I got the Blu-ray. It was a reasonable price. It was $20. Why is the actual series not like that? Because everywhere I've seen the season sets, they're just... I feel like they're way too expensive. The first season is about $45 on Amazon. I think it's actually gone up a little bit. They have seasons 2 and 3 are divided into parts, and the parts for both parts of season 2 are around the same as the season 1 set. I think that the season 3 part 1 set just came out, and it's about $45 also. Why? Why? I noticed this a lot with anime like Dragon Ball Z Kai. The first season, either in Blu-ray or DVD, is around $30. I don't know. I don't get it. I watch the series online, so I would like to own it. I really would. I've been buying the manga in volumes, and each volume is like $10. But the anime itself is just I don't want to go broke buying a series that I can just watch online for free. But anyway, that's pretty much everything I've got to say. I'm probably going to get to work on the next comic conference, actually putting the video of that together after this goes up. So, thank you all for watching. You have a good day, and I'll see you next time.